Hey, it's Ayla, and you are listening to the Female Entrepreneurs Network podcast. In today's episode, I want to share one of my biggest life hacks with you, which is basically the catalyst for everything that's happened to me over the last year. It's how I started this whole journey on turning my life around from being very sad and unhappy and not a great mom, not a great wife, not a great business owner, to having a record year for my business, to being a fun mom again, having a good relationship with both my kids and my husband. Everything's going well. And this is what it started. We're going to be talking about a peak state, getting yourself into a peak state. And I know that this term, I think it's maybe a bit overused, or maybe it's a bit too masculine for me. Not sure. But if you ever find yourself rolling your eyes at your kids' behavior or sighing when you have to do that dreaded task that you need to do for your business, but that you really don't want to do, if you take a step back and take a look at your thoughts that are swirling through your head in that moment, I wonder if you ever notice them. And if you notice them and you notice that they're not quite the happy thoughts that you want to have, I've got the solution for you on how to turn these little behaviors around and, well, change your whole life while you're at it. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Ayla, and for over a decade, I've been dedicated to helping entrepreneurs thrive. Welcome to the Female Entrepreneurs Network podcast. Here, we focus on personal growth so your business can grow alongside you. Discover how to optimize your business, elevate your mindset, and truly feel and act like a CEO. This is more than just business. It's about transforming your entire entrepreneurial journey. Join me on this path to unlock your fullest potential. How are you, my lovely ladies? I hope you're doing fine on this beautiful December morning, or whenever you're listening to this. For me, it's a December day, and I've just, basically thrown out my back by trying to get the Christmas tree up. The Christmas tree seller, he took the tree out of the stump. I don't know what we call this, like the wooden stump it is in, it keeps it upright. He took it out because he couldn't get it through the packaging machine. And then, I couldn't get it back in. It took me a good long while and I broke my back. And all this while I was thinking about childbirth because I was over there just going, this f***ing tree. But then I realized, once your baby is out, you wouldn't necessarily push it back in. So I figured that's the same with this tree and this stump. Like the hole is made exactly for the tree. And once you get it out, there's no way of getting it back in. In the end, I made it work. We have a beautiful tree. So I'm happy, but my back hurts. So I hope your backs are doing better today. Okay, we're talking about getting into a peak state today. And as I said, I don't really like the term peak state because I find it a bit too masculine to sort of NLP and show your inner warrior. And that's not really my thing. I like to be a bit more feminine about this stuff, or a bit more woo-woo if you want. But nonetheless, it's super important to be able to get yourself into a peak state. And I find that not being aware of your thoughts is mostly, for me personally, not being aware of my thoughts is what's getting me out of a peak state. So if I'm not conscious about what I'm thinking, I will find myself very annoyed with the kids, or saying over and over in my head, like, I have to do this stupid thing for the stupid blah, 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 blah. And to give you an example, these last few weeks have been really tough. Our 2-year-old has not been sleeping well. No, that's not true. She sleeps perfect. She just doesn't go to sleep very well. So she was screaming for 2 hours. Like this, I guess this is normal abandonment issues. normal abandonment issues. No, but seriously, for 2-year-olds, that's normal. They have this phase where they go through abandonment issues, and you just have to reassure them that you're always there for them. It's fine. All the we all went through it when we were young. But it was taking us 2 hours to get her to sleep, and she was screaming and she was trashing her bed, and she was crying so hard that I was afraid she was gonna vomit. And it wasn't pretty, and it took us 2 hours. And whenever you left the room and you stood on a floorboard wrongly and it creaked, you would have to start all over again. And in moments like that, I caught myself thinking, oh, this sucks. There goes my evening. Why can't she just go to sleep? Is this the joy of having kids? And gosh, I wish my husband would take over, because it's been me for 3 evenings now, and he's not doing anything. And those are all thoughts that aren't necessarily true. They just come up in a moment of frustration. And these come up for me when I'm not aware of the thoughts that I have. And then being aware of them, it helps me to stop them, because basically what happens is you're talking yourself down when you do that. And if you're not noticing it, you keep talking yourself down, and you keep repeating these thoughts, and you keep repeating these behaviors over and over again. And if you keep doing the same things, you're going to keep getting the same results. Input is output. So if your input is the same all the time, the output is going to be the same as well. This is really what has helped me to turn my entire life around, is just becoming aware of my thoughts and then getting myself into a peak state, if you will, like a more hyped up state of myself, to get these thoughts out of my head. So it's rewriting your own script. What if today you decided that your thoughts are no longer keeping you stuck, but that you're going to use your thoughts as a springboard to get to a new future, a future that you'd like better than your current reality. You have the power to change your story. Don't forget that. And it doesn't start tomorrow. It doesn't start next week. It starts right now. You already have what it takes to break through these thoughts, to feel new energy in your body, to get energized, get passion, and basically be the woman you want to be. It's just your thoughts that are holding you back. And that's basically, it's a shame. And I am just here to say, instead of forcing yourself into action, because that's, for me, as I keep repeating, sorry, I keep repeating, but it's the term peak state. What if we're not going to be talking about peak state anymore, but what if we're going to focusing on allowing yourself to step into alignment? You hear it in my voice. I get calmer when I say it like that. Imagine showing up from a place of calm, confident energy, and a state where everything feels like it's flowing naturally, that it isn't about pushing harder, but tuning into your inner strengths, finding clarity, and allowing that energy to guide you. Don't push and hustle your way there, but be intentional and be present about what you're thinking, about what you're doing, about how your thoughts are influencing your behaviors. And this is the kind of energy that doesn't just change your day or your moment, it transforms your life. And it sounds pretty heavy when you say it like that, but it's true. Like little moments all add up to bigger things. And for me personally, it was really what got me onto the road of recovery from being a bitch, basically. And what's fun about this, I think, is that you can see the difference very, very soon after you start doing this for yourself. That's what I really like about this as well. Hey there, busy entrepreneur. Are you feeling overwhelmed trying to juggle your business and family, wishing you had more clarity on where to focus your limited time? If so, I've got something special just for you. I'm running a free 5-day challenge called From Overwhelmed to Focus, 5 Days to Clarity. It's designed to help entrepreneurs like you uncover the first spark of your vision for an aligned life and business without adding more to your plate. In just 5 days, we'll clear the mental clutter, define what really matters, and set you up to take confident, aligned action. you'll walk away feeling lighter, more focused, and excited about the next steps in your journey. It's all about those small wins that make a big difference, and you deserve that clarity. The challenge kicks off on Monday, January 20th, and I'd love for you to join us. Sign up now at female-entrepreneurs.com/challenge. It's completely free. That's female-entrepreneurs.com/challenge. Remember, clarity starts with a single step. Let this challenge be yours. I can't wait to see you inside. So there are a few, if you're inspired by this rambling word vomit about getting yourself into a peak state, there are a few ways to do this. And the thing that started it for me is really the traditional getting yourself into a peak state, like Tony Robbins would tell you to do. And it got started by a reel that was going viral last year this time. Not a reel, but trending audio. That's what I was going to say. And it was the audio of more energy, more passion, more footwork. And I saw a reel of a mom in the kitchen hyping herself up to create another meal that her toddler wasn't going to eat, but she was going to hype herself up to make a fancy, healthy meal anyway. More energy, more passion, more footwork. I just had to laugh so hard. And then we started using that here at home. Every time I would be dragging my feet around, complaining to my husband, like, oh, I'm so tired. I don't know why I'm so tired. I was tired all the time, but I was also very unaware of myself repeatedly saying, oh, I'm so tired. I don't know what's going on. How can I be so tired? And by not being aware of that, I was just reinforcing the tiredness because I kept confirming it to myself and to others around me. And I kept going into a loop. So when that reel hit, I think it probably was my husband because he's always making fun of me. He just started saying more energy, more passion, more footwork every time I was complaining about feeling tired or stuff like that. And then I took over that habit. We started doing it to our oldest as well. She was 4.5 at the time. And every time she would be dragging her feet and not wanting to go to school and low energy in the mornings, you know how kids can be. We started singing it to her to the point where she would get mad and would say, I've had enough of this stupid song. Stop singing it. And we were like, yeah, that's good. That's what we want because we want to flush your brain with energy. From there on out, for me, I got more energized and I started going to the gym and I started going on walks and I started to feel physically better. And when you physically feel better, you're very soon going to be noticing that you're mentally going to be in a better place as well. And that's what started this whole journey for me, because from there on out, I found the right people to listen to. I became aware of what I was listening to, what I was looking at, which was basically all. I wasn't doing any personal growth at all. I was just reading fiction books. I was watching TV. I was on Instagram a lot, I think. Just totally unaware of what I was putting into my brain. And in a numb state, and basically escapism at its finest. Like, I'm very unhappy with my reality, so I'm just going to be reading books, listening to books, watching series that will make me feel better, and then go back to your mundane old life. So when I started to get in a physical peak state, I started feeling better mentally, and it just took flight from there. So all of this to say, more energy, more passion. If you find yourself dragging your feet, feeling tired, repeating that over and over, the best way to snap out of it is to just jump around. Jump around for a bit. Give yourself a high five if you've done something well. Dance a bit if you hear a funny song, or if you don't hear a funny song, but if you're complaining to something, just seriously dance around for 10 seconds, and I promise you will feel better right away. And it feels really stupid, but it works. So yeah, do that. And then Once you are starting to feel better physically, you can be more aware of what you're doing in your head. And that would be to notice, stop, and redirect your thoughts. If you're noticing yourself saying, "Oh, I'm so tired and I don't want to do this evening routine with the kids again. Every day it's the same. They're going to complain that they don't want to eat and they don't want to go to bed and blah, 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 blah." Okay, notice it. Notice that you're thinking those thoughts again. Stop them and reframe them or fill them with something else. Like how lovely it is that I am able to give my kids a healthy meal. How nice it is that I'm there for them at bedtime. This is what I did when my kid was screaming her lungs out because she had a fear of being abandoned. Instead of going, ugh, I told myself how grateful I am that I'm here for her, that I get to be here for her, that we have created a situation where we can both be here for her. No one is away from home. And we are physically and emotionally capable of holding her for a bit and emotionally supporting her. And I know that this can sound very like the pink is dripping off of it, you know, that's how I envision it. But it works. I swear to you, it works. And am I grateful and happy and being able to redirect my thoughts the entire 2 hours? No, I'm not. That doesn't matter because when I notice myself going down the rabbit hole again, I notice it, stop it, and can redirect it again. And I will probably forever need to do this. I don't see myself envisioning becoming a Buddha with Zen thoughts all the time. But if you have this under control, you can always notice it, stop it, and redirect your thoughts. The last thing that I wanted to give to you today about how to get yourself into a better state is such a fun one, and it's one I give to my clients always. And it is give your ego a name. Your ego is here to protect you. Your ego doesn't want things to change. They, he, she, whatever. Your ego wants to keep you safe. And getting yourself into a new state, a better state, is unfamiliar. And so it's unsafe. And so your ego is going to tell you, this is unwise. You shouldn't be doing this. Should you be doing this? Are you sure you want to do this? That's the little voice in your head. That's your ego keeping you safe from making any changes, even if they're positive. Doesn't matter. Your ego wants to hold on to your current state because that's what it knows. So giving your ego a name is really very helpful to get you out of that state of just blah, 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 because you can separate your ego from yourself. That makes it much easier to tell yourself to shut up. Instead, because if you don't give it a name, you're just gonna be saying more negative stuff to yourself. So imagine this. I am up there in her bedroom. She's screaming her lungs out. And I am just going, oh, this sucks. My whole evening is gone. If I didn't give my ego a name, I would be going, oh, you're so stupid for thinking those thoughts and why you're doing this to yourself. So that's more negativity that you're piling onto yourself. While if you're gonna give your ego a name, mine is called Annalise and she sucks. She's a sourpuss and she complains a lot. So whenever I'm complaining, like, oh, my whole evening is gone, I just go, Annalise, you need to shut up. Your kid needs you right now. You can have another evening, another day, and you'll be fine. That way you can redirect those negative thoughts towards your ego. It helps you to shut it up, the little voice, without piling the negativity onto yourself even more. It's wonderful and you can use it all day long, and your ego will be looking at yourself in the mirror and you'll be going, oh, my tummy is too fat and my skin is red and it sucks and my hair is greasy as well. And you would just go, you know, Annalise, you need to shut up. You look fine. You look pretty, you have pretty eyes, and you're going to be in a physically better state if you just keep going to the gym. You know, Annalise, bye. You need to shut it right now. That way you can start separating all the negativity that's drowning you, push it on over to your ego, and Oh, it's just doing so many things on so many levels. The moment I give my clients this exercise, I don't know, because it's not an exercise, you implement it and you keep it forever, most do. I can see things changing immediately because of the separation. There's no way I can explain it even better. It's just the separation that's amazing. So yeah, to recap, those are the 3 things that I do. Get yourself physically into a peak state, notice, stop, and redirect your thoughts, and give your ego a name. And then there is another side to this coin, because there is also something to be said for detachment. And getting yourself into a peak state sort of implies that you cannot be detached at the same time. I'm going to use an example here that my mentor uses, James Wetmore. He's amazing. If you don't know him, you should. And in one of his trainings, he gave an example about a granola bar, and it just stuck with me. Because getting yourself into a peak state, you would just be going, I am over here recording a podcast right now, which naturally brings me into peak state because I like recording podcasts. And if I now want to get a granola bar, I'm just going to go, yeah, okay, I'm feeling so good. I'm going to get a granola bar, and it better be there because I'm looking forward to this granola bar. And then when you get to the kitchen and the granola bar isn't there, you're going to be very disappointed. So, as I said, there is something to be said for detachment as well. And this is something I practice with my clients when we're looking at goals. Because if you're going to be approaching this with a bit of detachment, you would say, I'm feeling great and I'm really looking forward to a granola bar. But if it isn't there in the kitchen, I'm not going to let myself get down over it. It would be lovely if it's there. If it's not there, that's fine. I'll get a granola bar another time. I think that this is also why the peak state feels a bit too masculine for me, because that granola bar better be there sounds very bro to me, very masculine, very go-getter. And that's great, but sometimes showing up as should be enough. So this is for me for goals, not did you achieve your goals, but how did you show up? Did you show up as somebody who would achieve those goals? Then if the answer is a full-on yes, then that should be enough. Maybe you didn't achieve the goal completely, but you've at least shown up as somebody who would get that goal. So I think that there's a balance to be had as well between being in a peak state and feeling detached a bit from it all, being just a bit more laid back. So for me, the balance that I've found is I get myself in peak state during the moments of the day that are really the trenches of the day, the morning routine, the evening routine, right before a workout that I actually don't want to do. Or when I notice bad thoughts swirling around in my head, then I just go more energy, more passion, more footwork. And it will get me out of this. It will help me to be there for my kids instead of snap at them. It will help me to approach a situation with humor instead of being all snappy. And for me, those are perfect moments to be in peak state. But when I work, I get into a more feminine zone, a more mental zone. There is more detachment. There is more showing up as, and there is less alpha male go-getter energy going on. All right, my lovelies, that's it for today. I think it's enough. Change your entire mindset in one episode. So yeah, it should be enough. If this is stuff that you like to do, change your mindset, change your life around, I am going to be hosting a challenge in January, the Overwhelm to Focus Challenge, 5 days to clarity. And this is such a lovely challenge because we are, well, the title gives it away. We're going to get you from overwhelm to clarity in just 5 days. And I thought it would be a fun way to start off the new year. So yeah, we're going to be looking at what stuff that's holding you back, where you want to go, how you're going to get there, all in just 5 days. If this is something you would like, I think you know what to do. There will be a link in the show notes and you can get on the waitlist for this challenge. And I really hope to see you there. We're going to make it 5 awesome days and it's going to really set the tone for your January or your 2025 if you want to. So I hope to see you there, and I wish you have a lovely day. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Female Entrepreneurs Network podcast. I hope you loved what you heard today. And if you did, it would mean a world to me if you could leave a review. Because believe it or not, reviews on podcasts are actually still used to make sure more people get to see this podcast in their screens and maybe click on it and learn something as well. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.